Some people can remember every detail of their lives, what they ate, what they wore, what they said, even 20 years ago. It's like their brain runs a perfect diary, one that never forgets. Imagine closing your eyes and replaying every day of your past, like scrolling through a mental movie, frame by frame. In 2006, scientists first described this rare ability in detail. They called it HSAM, Highly Superior Autobiographical Memory. Only a few dozen people worldwide are known to have it. While some remember almost everything, others forget the most important things, even their own birthdays, even what they studied hours before a big exam. Why does memory act like a superpower for some and a weakness for others? You've felt this yourself. Forgetting a simple password, blanking during a tough test, searching your mind for a detail that just isn't there. In the next few minutes, you'll uncover the hidden forces that decide what your brain keeps and what it erases. Stay until the end. Because one shocking truth proves that even perfect memory is not what it seems. Scientists gave it a name, HSAM, Highly Superior Autobiographical Memory. A rare condition where people can recall nearly every day of their lives, not just big moments, but the small, ordinary details most of us forget. The story began in 2006 with a woman named Jill Price. She could remember specific dates, conversations, and events from decades earlier. Ask her about a random Tuesday in 1987, and she could describe it with vivid accuracy. What she ate, what she wore, even the weather that day. It seemed like a real-life superpower, but scientists soon realized something surprising. Even HSAM isn't completely flawless. Memories can still bend. They can still be colored by emotion or distorted by time. This superpower is extremely rare. Only a few dozen confirmed cases exist worldwide. The rest of us forget. We misplace keys, we forget birthdays, we blank out in stressful exams. The contrast is striking. Some brains act like endless archives, others erase details in seconds, and people with HSAM even live their lives differently. Many organize their entire memories by calendar dates. They see the world not in years or months, but in exact days. The question is obvious. Why do only a handful of people keep nearly everything, while the rest of us forget so quickly? Most adults can only hold 3 to 5 chunks of information at once. That's why new names vanish in minutes, why a phone number slips away unless you repeat it. If details aren't properly encoded, they're gone forever. The brain never files them into long-term storage. Think of it like a fragile clipboard. If you don't write it down fast enough, the note blows into the wind. You've felt it. You set down your keys, walk away, and 2 minutes later they're already missing. It feels like failure. But scientists say forgetting is sometimes survival. Imagine if your brain kept every small detail forever, every noise, every face, every object you've ever seen. The overload would paralyze you. So the brain deletes to protect its own focus. Forgetting is its natural filter. Still, there's a price. Too much forgetting cripples daily life. It breaks concentration, it weakens learning. It makes even simple tasks a constant struggle. The average person forgets half of new information within just 1 hour. By the next day, almost 70% is gone. Only a small fraction survives. So how does the brain decide what makes it through? How does it store the memories that last? Memory starts with encoding, the moment your brain first takes in an experience. What you pay attention to shapes what you'll actually remember. Ignore it, and the detail never makes it into storage. The hippocampus acts like a gateway for long-term memory. It decides what stays temporary and what gets consolidated. Think of it as a customs checkpoint for your brain. Only certain events get stamped and allowed into permanent storage. That's why strong emotions leave lasting marks. The smell of your grandmother's cooking, the sound of your first concert, moments tied to feeling are harder to erase. Storing isn't the same as retrieving. To recall a memory later, your brain needs matching cues. Without the right trigger, the memory hides in the dark. It's there, but unreachable. Even stored memories can be lost if you never bring them back. A memory not retrieved often begins to fade. Neural connections weaken. Eventually, the pathway disappears. Scientists call these storage units engrams, clusters of neurons that hold specific moments. But engrams aren't indestructible. If they aren't reactivated, they shrink or get overwritten. Which raises the question, what happens when stress or lack of sleep interrupts this fragile process? Can memories vanish before they even have a chance to form? Sleep is the brain's hidden laboratory. During deep, slow-wave sleep, the brain strengthens important connections. It prunes weak links and keeps the strong ones alive. One good night of rest can lock in a week of learning, but one bad night can erase days of effort. This is why cramming before exams without sleep often fails. You wake up knowing less than when you went to bed. Think of the brain like a hard drive that needs backup. Without sleep, the system never saves the file. But stress works in the opposite direction. When cortisol floods the brain, hippocampal pathways shrink. The circuits needed to recall memories begin to weaken. That's why under heavy pressure, people blank out. They studied the material, but the brain blocks the signal. Stress makes the brain choose survival over recall. The brain is always balancing remembering against forgetting. Too much remembering overloads the system. Too much forgetting cripples daily life. Students who take short naps after studying recall up to 20% more. It's not more studying that helps, it's sleep. Sleep and stress form the silent battlefield inside your head. One builds your memory, the other tears it apart. Why do some people naturally remember far more than others, no matter the sleep or the stress? Memory isn't just practice, it starts with your genes. Some people are born with brain advantages. They learn faster, recall sharper, forget slower. Scientists found a gene called BDNF, Val66Met. This tiny change weakens memory performance. It disrupts how brain cells form connections. Two students can study the same hours, but one remembers more thanks to genetics. It feels unfair, but it's real biology. Another gene, called KIBRA, does the opposite. Variants of it give people stronger recall. They can pull details from years ago. It's like their memory files are better organized. Genes aren't destiny. DNA sets the stage, but habits write the story. Even with weak variants, training can improve memory. Lifestyle, sleep, diet, and stress all interact. Genes open the door, but environment pushes you through. Still, genetic bias matters in daily life. One person aces an exam. Another struggles, even with the same effort. That difference may come down to neurobiology. But memory isn't only about how strong it is, it's also about how the brain keeps events apart. If memories blend, life becomes a blur of moments. So how does the brain separate one day from another and stop the past from becoming a single mess? Memory isn't just storing, it's sorting. Your hippocampus keeps one day from blending into the next. It uses a process called pattern separation. This is how the brain marks events as unique. Inside the hippocampus, two regions take the lead. The dentate gyrus and the CA3 act like filters. They stop similar moments from becoming confused. Without them, life would blur into noise. Imagine parking your car yesterday versus today. Both look the same. Same lot, same spot, yet your brain tags them as different episodes. That tag is pattern separation at work. But here's the weakness: the system can fail. Poor separation causes false recall. You remember something, but it never really happened. Even people with HSAM, supermemory, face this flaw. They can recall dates, but still make mistakes. They're human, not photographic machines. Psychologists proved this in experiments. Volunteers were convinced they saw things that never occurred. Their brains stitched in details that weren't real. The stronger the memory, the more confident the error. This shows memory is fragile, no matter the gift. So even perfect memory isn't truly perfect. It's powerful, but also prone to illusion. Is photographic memory real or just a myth shaped by how our brains trick us? Movies and TV love to show people with a mind like a camera. They replay every detail with perfect recall. But in reality, no human brain works that way. Even people with HSAM, the rare memory gift, still form false memories. Their recall is strong, but not flawless. They make the same errors as everyone else. Think about trying to repeat a chat word for word. Almost nobody can do it exactly. Memory is built from pieces, not perfect pictures. So where does the myth come from? It comes from tricks, not biology. The method of loci, also called the memory palace, creates the illusion of supermemory. You imagine a building and place each fact in a room. Later, you walk the palace to recall the info. Memory champions use these strategies, not natural photography. That's how they memorize decks of cards or long numbers. It's skill, not genetic superpower. The danger is when people believe photographic memory is real. It builds false expectations. Students blame themselves for not recalling perfectly. But the truth is, nobody can. Even the ancient Greeks knew this. They trained memory using palaces over 2,000 years ago. The idea isn't new. It's a technique, not a brain mutation. So if photographic memory is just a myth, the real question is, what proven methods actually help us remember more? Science shows that memory isn't fixed. It can be trained. Even people with bad memory can boost their recall. The secret isn't talent, it's proven strategies. One is retrieval practice, testing yourself instead of just reading. Every recall attempt strengthens the memory pathway. Another is spaced repetition, revisiting info at growing intervals. This keeps knowledge alive for years. Think of flashcards reviewed today, then tomorrow, then next week. The brain locks it down when practice is spread out. Aerobic exercise can enlarge the hippocampus. Even in older age, running or walking can boost memory. That means movement shapes how much we remember. Sleep is another pillar. Without it, memories can't stick. Naps after study can raise recall by over 20%. Memory champions prove this isn't about genius. They use tools like the method of loci, turning facts into vivid images. That's how they recall thousands of digits or decks of cards. The truth is simple. Consistent habits matter more than natural gift. Without practice, memory fades for everyone. With practice, it grows stronger than most people ever expect. So yes, we all forget, but we can also train. Which leads to the biggest question. What's the ultimate truth about memory's limits? Even people who seem to remember everything are not invincible. Those with HSAM still forget details. They still create false memories. Because memory isn't a camera, it's a living, shifting process. Every recall changes the original trace. Every retelling edits the story. Our minds are built to forget just as much as they are built to remember. This isn't weakness, it's survival. Forgetting clears space. Forgetting reduces stress. Forgetting lets us focus on what truly matters. The real superpower isn't perfect recall, it's knowing how to train memory with strategies. Retrieval practice, spaced repetition, exercise, and sleep. These shape stronger memory than genes or luck. From Jill Price, who recalled every date, to memory champions using tricks, nobody escapes the limits of recall. Even the best minds are fallible. So the next time you forget a name, misplace your keys, or blank during a test, remember this: even superminds forget too. And that's not failure. That's how the human brain was designed to work. Forgetting isn't failure. It's how the brain survives. Our minds erase as much as they store, making room for what really matters. But with the right strategies, practice, repetition, sleep, and movement, anyone can build a stronger memory. Your recall is not fixed. It can be trained. If you want more science-backed insights that change how you see your mind, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now tell me, do you believe in photographic memory? Or is it just a myth Hollywood made famous?